On this week's edition of Art House, we'll be looking at what artists are doing in different parts of the country. We're focusing on two places, Benin City, the Edo State capital, and the nation's capital, Abuja, where two group exhibitions are taking place. That's our lineup on this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Melinda Akinlami.
I began writing early, very early. I was already writing short stories for the radio and selling poems to poetry and art festivals. I work with a great deal of energy and passion, unending streams of responses to various stimuli within our socio-economic, political, cultural and environmental space.
We'll begin from Benin, Edo State, where the second series of this exhibition, called Traces of Time, is taking place at the Crown Art Gallery.
It's the second in the series. These art patrons, who are part of the first Traces of the Times exhibition, are impressed that it has gone a notch higher. The audience who've come to see the exhibition include some distinguished personalities who admire the Benin tradition for its rich cultural heritage.
I love my culture. You know, my culture is an inner drive for me. You know, your culture is your beginning. Your culture is your being. Your culture is yourself. If you lose it, then you lose everything about yourself. So, my own passion is I must tie into my culture, you know, to be able to realize my inner fulfillment, you know, and that is what drives me. So I'm a lover of culture. I'm a lover of the Benin culture and the Benin heritage, which is the foremost heritage and the only heritage known to have survived all these years, you know, through time, you know, and it's not something that any Benin man should play with.
Most impressive. You know, artists they were all born ahead of our times. They are far ahead. So that most of their works are subject to interpretations by experts. People like Benegwanwu of Nigeria, Victor Waifo, Osawe, Mokpai. Those were artists who did works that people are still interpreting to us, the ordinary person. They were born ahead of our times.
The works of art showcased are a mixed bag of artifacts that document the history of their craft and why they have the bragging rights when one talks about creativity which dates back centuries.
I've seen so many works before, and this is not the first time. The second time, as you can see, it's the second exhibition, Traces of Time, and it's really the traces of time. You know, and the works speak for themselves.
They're passing the torch to the next generation, as displayed by the contemporary artists who were part of the exhibition.
This is actually a metaphor. This shiny surface you are seeing is aluminum foil. I had to cast it out with resin. I use resin. It's under printmaking techniques, you know. I derived this medium from well-known artist Dr. Bruce Onovakwea, because I had the privilege to train online for some years, and I had to get this medium. I had to try to just do something different from his own style, but we are using the same materials. I can't really say how long, because I'm not a full-time artist. I work and I also practice art. I do some of my jobs weekends or after work. I do something. But if you want to take a day straight, to do this, the engraving takes to me, the engraving takes 2 days, and then the casting, and within a week I can come up with something like this.
I'm exploring on various medium to alternate for watercolor, but most importantly, I work with oils. It's very convenient for me to use. But there is something I did on this work that I don't usually do, and that's creating the effect of a wash. Okay, creating the effect of tears running down and all of that I did with other mediums. It's like an image coming from dark to light. All right. The sharp contrast on the face at this side means that there's light coming from a particular angle. That image is actually coming from the dark. We can make it better, we can have all light, we can have all progress.
You know, art is an expression of the inner mind. And I'm an art lover, I'm an art collector, and I love art. What I'm seeing here today is very nice, very encouraging, you know, in our environment. And we must encourage our young ones, like what I'm seeing, some works I'm seeing here today. It's very interesting. And I want us to do more of this, you know, because there are a lot of talents, you know, that need to be exhibited.
The pieces show they're in touch with their roots.
See, in every culture, they have their own particular accessories, and they are so important because each has its own meaning and all of that. And when you use them completely, it just makes it perfect, commemorate with every other thing. So I picked this particular image because she went down in depicting the Benin culture. All right, the accessory on her hair, the headdress, the beads, her hand beads, and of course the red gown, the red wrapper. So it actually shows a very good depiction of a Benin bride, of the rich culture of the Benin.
This work is titled Virtuous Woman. I choose to title this work Virtuous Woman because let me talk about actually my mom. She was actually doing something for the family, trying to assist us, not depending so much on my dad. So I just decided to I'm actually working on Virtuous Woman series, how they do sell something or do one or two things to help the family. And this one there, she's selling tomatoes, and just to be helpful to herself, to the family, and to the society at large. Because as a woman, if you're just sitting down doing nothing, I don't think you're helping yourself or the society. You just have to just go into one or two things so as to impact to people around you.
People
what they are put up today is most impressive. But my only lamentation is that this great work that has been put up together has not been given sufficient publicity. It should have attracted a lot of people because it's reflecting the true us, telling us who we are, what we were, and what we are going to be. It's a penetration into the future. I'm extracting all our behavior from the past to the present and then into the future.
The Crown Art Gallery explains that the idea of the old and the new exhibiting together is a way of motivating young talent in Edo State.
While artists create incredible works of art in Benin City, the female artists are not left out as well. We'll be seeing their pieces in a moment.